and the people who smashed them in the face with Confederate battle flags and Trump flags, the people who tried to destroy our constitutional order, will be remembered as fascist traitors to their own country. So, we must remember 3 rings of sedition that took place on J6, the realm of the coup, the realm of the insurrection, and the realm of the mob violence. The coup was anchored in months of the big lie. Trump claimed to have won an election. He lost by more than 7 million votes, 306 to 232 in the Electoral College. He needed to get MAGA followers to simply disregard reality and facts and dismiss more than 60 federal and state court decisions that had rejected every claim of electoral fraud and corruption that they advanced in courtrooms across the land. This was critical because the president understood that lies would be the fuel for violence. As Voltaire said, anyone who can make you believe absurdities can make you commit atrocities. Well, the coup depended also on coercive pressure campaigns, trying to force state election officials to just find me 11,780 votes. Coercive pressure campaigns to get DOJ to endorse the false claims. Just say the election was corrupt and leave the rest to me and the Republican congressman. The recruitment of counterfeit electors. The plot to bully Pence into rejecting electoral college votes from swing states and either just declare Trump president or kick the whole thing into a contingent election in the House. So that was the coup part of the operation. The second layer out, the realm of the insurrection, was the Proud Boys, the Oath Keepers, the 3%ers, the muscle. And these were the white supremacist violent groups, white Christian nationalist groups that had trained for weeks or months to get ready, staging confrontations at state capitals as dress rehearsals for what was to happen. The Proud Boys came to D.C. twice in the lead up to J6 and provoked brawls with anyone that they would describe as Antifa. They organized in military fashion, and they were dead set on attacking the police, storming the Capitol, and stopping the steal. So as ferocious and violent as the organized insurrectionists of maybe 600 or 700 were, they could not have succeeded without that third tier of sedition, the mob itself, the mob riot. After Trump convinced the organizers to change the date of their rally from January 20th, Inauguration Day, to January 6th, the electoral count day, he then went on social media to recruit tens of thousands of mob extras to back up the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers who would get the fight against the police started. And you know, Trump kicked it off with the famous tweet saying, "Be there, we'll be wild," which set the MAGA Twitterverse on fire. Well, it all culminated, of course, with his speech on the ellipse where he said, you got to go and fight like hell, and if you don't, you won't have a country anymore. So the attempted coup, the insurrection, the mob violence converged and exploded on J6. Today, we analyze the shocking resurgence of political violence in this century, its relationship to propaganda, misinformation, and disinformation, and the threat that it poses to American constitutional government. We honor the heroes who helped us to defeat this attack on our democracy. We also recognize today that the political violence unleashed by Trump did not end on J6. On his first day back in office last year, he pardoned nearly 1,600 of the rioters and insurrectionists, including hundreds who violated police officers, including several in this room. Those pardons were raw spoils shared indiscriminately without regard to their actual offenses, their criminal sentences, their prior records, their contrition, their repentance, or their reform and rehabilitation. They were essentially a payoff to Trump's private militia, which is now ready to stand back and stand by again for future engagements. We could play this video.
I believe that by Donald Trump pardoning, he's going to be pardoning good men.
As one of Donald Trump's first acts back in office,
approximately 1,500 for a pardon. Full pardon.
he pardoned criminals who attacked the Capitol on January 6th.
So this is January 6th. These are the hostages.
Convicts who beat and battered police officers.
DC is a motherfucking war zone!
Full pardon.
These are the criminals he released back into our communities. Home invaders, burglars, sex offenders, people who continued plotting violence against their political opponents, set free by Donald Trump to terrorize their neighbors.
We hope they come out tonight, frankly.
They pose a serious threat to public safety. As we show in a report released by House Judiciary Dems this week, at least 33 pardoned insurrectionists have since committed additional crimes since January 6th, including child sexual assault, terroristic threats, domestic violence, and conspiracy to murder FBI agents. And yet, Trump indiscriminately pardoned all of them. When you reward and normalize criminal behavior, of course, you invite more of it. And the president didn't just free his rioters for doing his dirty work. He punished law enforcement for doing their jobs, purging hundreds of career FBI agents and prosecutors just because they worked on J6. He installed actual participants in the attack in the Department of Justice itself. The new U.S. pardon attorney, Ed Martin, tweeted from the Capitol grounds on this day 5 years ago and described the mayhem as Mardi Gras in D.C. His senior counselor at the Department of Justice, Jared Wise, is another J6 defendant captured on body camera footage yelling, "Kill him, kill him," 5 different times as police were being attacked right next to him. These leaders at the Department of Justice today have never once regretted their participation in this nightmare. With election deniers and J6 conspiracists Pam Bondi and Kash Patel at the top of the DOJ, it's like the Joker and the Riddler and the Penguin have taken over Gotham City. So I close with the thought that it is still January 6th in America, and it will be until the forces of strong, nonviolent democracy prevail. We are still in the fight of our lives, my friends.